There are neighborhoods in DC that have always been in high demand, but now billions of dollars are being invested into the several other neighborhoods, and they are seeing or about to see rapid transformation. The kind that reshapes communities, drives property values, and creates entirely new lifestyles. In this video, I'm sharing my predictions for the neighborhoods most likely to continue that upward momentum and breaking down exactly why they're worth watching. And by the way, one of these neighborhoods has by far the biggest potential with a massive development already in motion. I'm Brad Thornton, a local real estate agent here in the DC metro area. So if you're thinking about a move, considering an investment, or just want to get a clearer picture of where DC is heading, this video is for you. Now let's shift our focus to the flagship of DC's revitalized waterfront, the Wharf. It's located on the Potomac River, just south of all the monuments and the museums. What was once parking lots and low-rise, older office buildings has now been completely demolished and rebuilt. The fish market area is still intact, though, which is great. It's now a vibrant, walkable neighborhood in Southwest DC that blends luxury living, dining, and entertainment with stunning river views and public green spaces, which is all connected by this beautiful boardwalk facing the water. It was reborn through a massive $3.6 billion redevelopment beginning in 2014. Phase 1 wrapped in 2017, and Phase 2 was recently completed, creating a waterfront district packed with residential towers, offices, hotels, shops, restaurants, performance venues, and these public piazzas, they call them. You have live shows at the Anthem and one of my favorite small venues, which is Pearl Street Warehouse. The food scene here is top tier. Think upscale seafood, rooftop bars, waterfront cafes with sweeping river views as the backdrop. There are so many great restaurant options here. My current favorite is Lamani, which is a Greek Mediterranean, and Moonrakers for their incredible rooftop views. On the residential side, there are over 1,400 apartments and condos. Also, when it comes to the market, note that the Wharf falls in the broader Southwest waterfront real estate zone, which has a lower median price, includes a lot of older condos and co-ops in these mid-century buildings. The waterfront units, however, at the Wharf trade significantly higher, depending on the size and the view. As for transit and walkability, the Wharf scores a 93 walk score and is a short walk from L'Enfant Plaza metro station. You also have bike lanes and water taxis on the river. So what's driving all of this? It's that urban trifecta, waterfront access, cultural destinations, and some stunning views with pedestrian piers, restaurants, hotels, music venues, boating, shopping. The place is packed with amenities and every day of the week. Couple that with smart phased redevelopment they did and the connected transit, and you've got a neighborhood that's already arrived and is still going very strong. So let's kick things off with one of the most talked about areas in the city, Union Market. What started as a wholesale market has evolved into a dynamic, design-forward neighborhood that's drawing some serious attention from developers, chefs, and home buyers. Union Market lies in Northeast DC. It's part of the larger Noma district and is just north of the 8th Street corridor. It's a thriving neighborhood and popular gathering place in Washington. It was originally just a food hall, but has spread into a vibrant combination of retail, dining, arts, entertainment, and nightlife. The area around it was predominantly industrial businesses for decades. However, it is being transformed into this very chic neighborhood. Think modern warehouse with street art and live music. It has a creative startup kind of energy and has definitely been a magnet for young professionals. It's centered around the Union Market Food Hall, which is a renovated warehouse offering everything from artisan tacos and oysters to global desserts and craft coffee. They offer indoor and outdoor seating. It's somewhat of a foodie's playground there for sure. On top of the market is a huge rooftop called High Lawn, which is a modern green space with a bar, and it's a great setting for live music, which they have there occasionally. The market originated in 1931 as Union Terminal Market and served as a hub for produce, a circus, believe it or not, even a boxing gym. Many years later, it fell into disrepair and was resurrected in 2012 as this creative culinary destination. The neighborhood's food and drink scene is a big part of what makes it so popular. There are over 40 local restaurants and bars packed in the neighborhood. El Presidente and St. Anselm are a couple of my favorite restaurants. And if you're into craft spirits, or even if you're not, Cotton and Reed Rum Distillery is worth a stop. Their cocktails are incredibly creative, and they've got this laid-back, stylish type of atmosphere. There are 2 nearby metro rail stations, and commuters have easy access via New York Avenue, Florida Avenue, and I-395 downtown. DC is about 15 minutes away, 30 minutes, depending on what time of day you're traveling. Union Market has a walk score of 96, which is what they call Walker's Paradise. This, along with nearby metro stations, frequent buses and bike lanes, it's very connected. There are no major parks within Union Market. However, there are nearby green spaces, the Gallaudet University grounds next door, NOMA parks, and easy access to downtown parks via public transportation. You'll mostly find mid-rise 1 to 3 bedroom condos or apartments with modern finishes. There are some loft-style flats and converted warehouses, but for the most part, you're going to see apartments in the district. So what's driving the growth? It's new, it's exciting, and improving rapidly. Now, there are still a few industrial warehouse type businesses in the middle of all this, but it's likely those will get converted to a modern use over time. The transformation so far from an unpleasant industrial area to a modern mixed-use neighborhood has been quite stunning. Just a short ride southeast of Union Market, another neighborhood is quietly stepping in the spotlight, one with deep roots and big plans to become one of DC's most transformative redevelopments. That would be Hill East, and it likely has the most potential for growth on the list. This neighborhood sits just east of Capitol Hill with the Anacostia River to the west. It's been around a long time, but was really just seen as an extension of Capitol Hill. However, that will be changing fast. With the planned expansion, many new amenities will be added. The 180 acres of the nearby RFK Stadium site is slated to get redeveloped, and Hill East will expand north into this area, including Kingma Park. The vision is a walkable, mixed-use neighborhood with parks, restaurants, new housing, hospitality, and a whole lot more life along the riverfront there. Right now, it's still early. However, the city's plans include new retail, casual dining, and riverfront cafes in the new layout. The numbers here are massive. We're talking about $3.7 billion for a new stadium for the Washington Commanders, as well as the ability to host many other events. And this is on top of an additional $1 billion going into the surrounding infrastructure, which will include up to 6,000 new homes, with 30% of those set aside for affordable housing. The old DC General Hospital site is being redeveloped too. Phase 1 brought 360 new housing units with some retail spread in there. Phase 2 is already underway and will bring more than 2,300 homes, 60,000 square feet of retail, and a 150-room hotel. The hotel is really needed in that neighborhood. So what's the overall big vision for all of this? Is a waterfront neighborhood with parks, retail, trails, and a new sportsplex in all along this beautiful Potomac riverfront. I went to many games in the old RFK Stadium in what turned out to be the team's most winning years to date. And along with many fans, I'm really excited about the return from Maryland. I saw some great concerts in the old stadium as well. But with the new stadium's covered roof, bad weather won't be interrupting any of these events. And as for housing, Hill East is still mostly row homes now, and then condos inside those row homes. But we're going to see a new wave of new mid-rise condos in the next few years. You'll still get that classic DC charm, but with more options for different types of buyers. And values are already climbing. As of mid-2025, the median sale price here is $825,000, which is up 4.5% from last year. So the momentum is real. Next is a neighborhood that is not well known outside of DC. So it's somewhat of a hidden gem and often gets overshadowed by its neighbors. However, it is on the rise because of what it offers, as well as the access to its neighbors Logan Circle and U Street. I'm talking about Shaw. It's just north of downtown, south of U Street, and east of Logan Circle. And while it's a little less than a square mile, Shaw packs a lot of personality into its compact grid. You'll see rows of restored Victorian and Federal Row houses, as well as sleek new developments like the City Market at O. Shaw faced its share of challenges in the past, though. After fires from the 1968 riots, which caused significant damage, it started making a comeback in the 1990s. And after the Metro came, it really boomed. Today, it's one of the city's more in-demand places to live. You can grab a coffee, groceries, a night out, or your morning workout, all within a few blocks. If I'm grabbing coffee in Shaw, I'll go to the coffee bar. I also love the back patio of Calico or the wine speakeasy of Dabney Cellar. You also have access to multiple Metro stops in Shaw. For culture, you have the Howard Theater, there's Atlantic Plumbing, which is a boutique movie theater with cocktails. It was repurposed from an old plumbing business. Just outside of Shaw, you have the 930 Club, which is a smaller live music venue that's been around for decades. Food-wise, the neighborhood punches way above its weight with the Dabney, Ambar, or my favorite is a little hole-in-the-wall sandwich place called Sundovich. Housing here is a great mix. You've got those charming historic row houses that people love in DC, and you've also got modern mid-rise condo buildings with open layouts, rooftop decks, and all the newer finishes. It's a neighborhood that really balances the old and new pretty well. As of mid-2025, prices in Shaw are holding strong. The historic district saw a medium sales price of around $962,000, which is up about 13% from last year. So what's fueling all this demand? A few key things: walkability, gorgeous architecture, access to transit, and the sheer energy of the neighborhood. You've got culture, history, great food, and great people, all in a compact, easy to navigate footprint. On top of that, Logan Circle and the U Street corridor are just a short walk away, and that means even more nightlife, restaurants, live music, easily accessible for anyone living in Shaw. It's also worth noting that those areas are more lively. So my clients tell me that they like having access to them, but living in Shaw where it's a little more dialed down. All right, let's shift our focus to a DC waterfront neighborhood that's been completely transformed from its industrial roots into one of the city's most exciting urban neighborhoods, which is Navy Yard. It sits in Southeast DC, just south of Capitol Hill, right along the Anacostia River. The U.S. Navy's Washington Navy Yard still anchors the area, but today the energy is really driven by Nationals Park and the growing Capitol Riverfront, which surrounds the area. This neighborhood has been tied to U.S. naval operations since 1799, but its modern transformation started in the 2000s when Nationals Park opened in 2008. Development kicked into high gear, and it hasn't let up since. National Park, by the way, if you don't know, is the home ballpark of the Washington Nationals baseball team. Today, Navy Yard has a sleek, modern feel. You've got high-rise condo buildings, apartments, office space, great dining, and a river view. However, there's still a strong connection to its industrial past, which kind of adds a depth to the neighborhood's character. Transit here is excellent. The Navy Yard Metro station gets you downtown fast, and there are plenty of buses and protected bike lanes. The Anacostia Riverwalk Trail ties the whole neighborhood together, which is great for walking, running, or biking all the way to the Wharf. And by the way, the walk score here is 94. There's always something to do here. You've got Nationals Park for baseball games and concerts, and the Yards Park, which brings people out year-round with splash zones, open lawns, and summer events. The dining scene continues to grow with places like Slipstream and Albee, the Salt Line, and for coffee, I like Maman. There's a good barber I go to at a place called the Bearded Goat. If you add in Whole Foods and plenty of retail, you've got all the day-to-day essentials covered. On the housing side, it's mostly luxury high-rises, modern condos and apartments, and a handful of townhomes. A major driver of the growth here is the Yards, which is a massive 42-acre redevelopment that already brought in about 2,800 residential units, plus office space, retail, and riverfront parks. The long-term vision is even bigger, with 9,000 total residents, over 800,000 square feet of retail, hotels, large office campus, and around 7.5 acres of new parkland, which is all in motion right now. As of mid-2025, the median list prices are $615,000, which are up 2.7% from the month before, which reflects the high demand and limited inventory in this fast-growing market. So, what's driving the boom? It comes down to waterfront access, smart planning, newer buildings with modern amenities. It has a walk score of 90 as well. You have stadium events, vibrant retail and restaurants, public green spaces, and the Riverwalk connecting you to the neighborhoods like the Wharf. Spend any time here, and it's easy to see why this neighborhood is still on the rise. So whether you're looking for walkable buzz, historic charm, or the next big development, these are some of the neighborhoods leading DC's transformation. The city is evolving, and if you're thinking about making a move, investing, or just staying ahead of the curve, these are the areas to watch. If you want to dive deeper into any of these neighborhoods or talk through your options, feel free to reach out, call, text, or email me anytime. I'd love to help you make your next move in DC. If you enjoyed this video, I know you will love the next video where I give you a breakdown of the best and worst neighborhoods in Washington, DC. These are going to be mostly neighborhoods I didn't cover in this video. I will see you there.